There we go.
32, and you know what that means? It's the day after. Oh fuck! Come on, thing. Scratching? I'm hearing scratching.
Yeah, you're a little scratchy. It's like your cable's loose.
I don't know if I brought the other mic.
Uh-oh.
We'll have to go to headphones if it keeps doing it. If it does the thing, we'll go to the other one. But I like sounding like a professional podcaster, and that's what this does, Dave. It makes us both sound like professionals.
Well, you are a professional podcaster.
Oh, and I can't even hear you properly. You know, I'm just thrown off. This is not our normal day, Dave. That's my excuse.
Good excuse. And you've traveled a lot. You're tired, Matt.
On travel, I had the flu.
Yes.
What did you have?
Did he get me?
I don't have anything.
Did he get me sick?
Did you make Riley sick? She's sick.
No, I was over the flu by the time I got there.
Oh,
I was well over it. I had taken all my medicine. But yeah, the 10 days before, I probably got over it on, I don't know, Friday or Saturday, and then I flew, or what if I can fucking remember? No, I didn't get you sick, Riley. You hush. You already tried to jinx me in the race. Oh, can't hear you. Did you mute? Fuck my life.
Yep, I'm muted. I'm good.
Thank God it wasn't me. What do you think of these pretty flowers, by the way?
I'm feeling very, very calm. Very calm.
Well,
it's soothing.
I opened up the you can actually keep the same stream. So I think Dave used this link forever now.
Okay.
But this wasn't there last time, but it's here now. By the way, if you're joining us, feel free to comment. Eden says we sound good.
How did I jinx him?
Brendan King says, like, you know what you're doing. So welcome, everybody. We will take your questions, or at least some of them. Dave, this was, in my opinion, the best HYROX weekend I've been to date.
Really?
Your initial thoughts?
I thought it was really good. So I've only been to 2 majors.
Okay.
And this was the better of the 2 majors. I will say that.
Which one did you go to?
I was in Chicago back, the one Megiddo one.
Right, but you've been to other HYROX. You've been in your hometown of Toronto. I'm saying the whole event, whole weekend. Wow. Initial thoughts.
Initial thoughts. Whew. It was good. There was a lot of, like, the Elite 15 race was great. Was amazing. There was a lot of good things. I mean, I don't want to just come off and start complaining about stuff, but there was a lot of good stuff. I was really impressed with the races, and being a part of it. Part of the judging crew for the Elite 15 was awesome. We had a good time, and I think that the judging went really well for that. The venue was huge, was massive, and I think that allowed for a little more spacing on the running track, which was good. Yeah, there was a lot of good stuff going on. A lot of great things.
Yeah, I spoke to Cheryl about this, and she'll be coming on with my part 2 of the behind the scenes episode. And yeah, I think this was the first venue I've been to, you know, since it's gotten really big, that it was necessary. Like, New York felt crowded. Toronto, day 1 was pretty packed. This felt like you never felt squished, even in like the peak time, 11 to 1, kind of when everyone's showing up. It felt great. And I was never slowed down on the track, and I think most people weren't either.
No, I don't think I never had any issues where I felt slowed down. There was a couple times where I had to go pretty wide to pass some people or whatever the case may be, but I never felt like I was on the other side. I never felt like I was in anyone's way. I never, you know, we've heard some complaints about people bumping and nudging and stuff like that in the past, like Manchester, when we heard the other week about people bumping. I didn't feel any of that in Vegas. I felt like there was enough room. I thought the venue was really good. It was, like I said, huge, and you could definitely get lost if you came in the wrong door trying to find the place. But it was a big venue, and the course was laid out well. Bathroom situation was good, and that's always important. Crossing went really well, you know, and it was a similar system to what they used in New York, and that one sucked, and this one went really, really good.
Right. The turn the funnel on, get halfway, turn the other funnel on.
Yeah, the mixing valve.
Yeah. And I gotta say, running when you do have to take that wide turn, it does feel like it. It's like, oh no, extra. I mean, who knows how many extra feet it is, but you feel it. Like I never want to go that way.
Yeah. You're almost better to just wait and pass on the straight.
Well, I mean, during the race,
Yeah.
you would wait.
If it's just a couple seconds to go around the corner, sure, and then pass them on the straight.
I don't know. But yeah, so I raced late. Obviously, it wasn't busy then, and I raced Sunday, and it wasn't that busy then either. But just for being a spectator and going across the main area, I thought it was really well laid out. And the fact that they're kind of upping the game, so even in the hallway, they've got the big sign up with the cities. It used to be you'd get everybody's name. I guess they didn't do that for this one, but they just did the cities, and then the things covering the poles had every city. Did you notice that?
I did not.
I meant to take a photo. So if you were out in the hall, because it's all branded so well, you can't really tell. The pole, around the pole, they wrapped it, and it had like the whole schedule going down the pole. Yeah. And then inside, there was additional signage that used to not be there, like additional Elite 15 signage that wasn't there at previous majors last year. So just everything has just gone up a notch, I feel like.
Absolutely. Definitely has been a step up for just about everything. It was impressive. The layout, the starting, so coming out of essentially the sign up area into the warm up area without having to cross the track, that was fantastic. That was great. That was excellent setup.
Yeah, so that, I don't know if they've ever done that at other venues. Listeners, let us know. But instead of having to go in and cross the track, depending how busy it is, then getting to the warm-up area, the only access to the warm-up area was from the hallway, which made for really easy in and out. Plus, people bring in waters and bags and stuff in there. The people sitting outside just said, "Oh, put your bag here." So like, I don't like to check my bag. I like to have it. So I have my recording equipment. And there's essentially a woman guarding it by sitting there. So I wasn't worried. So as I walked in, she's like, "Hey, put your bag here." And then that's where I put it. And that's where I put it on day 2 as well. So yeah, all of it. I liked all of it.
Yeah. It was a heck of an event. I had a lot of fun. I spent a lot of money on meals. That was the expensive part, but other than that, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, venue meals were pretty pricey. I had an acai bowl on Sunday that was $14, but that's kind of normal for a venue.
Yeah, no, I mean the rest of Vegas.
Oh, well, I ate like crap this week because I was staying in Circus, which was very inexpensive, but there's not like Chipotle options. It's like, burgers and fries and those kinds of options. So on Saturday, I actually did take an Uber to a Chipotle because I was like, I got at least one like decent meal. Because then when I'd get done, I'd come back to the hotel, I would just eat the garbage. And so I eat a lot of like not great stuff.
I just want to comment on one. Emily asked, was there enough water? Because that's super important. And there was. I never found at all any times when there wasn't enough water. They had water at the finish line in cans from Go Brewing, and their water on the running track, or sorry, just inside the Rox Zone. I always seem to have water there, and even most of the time had water in the warm up area as well. So they did really well with that. Yeah,
Brendan says that some of the venue polls had the list of all the Elite 15s, and that was also cool. These were coming in fast and furious. The head judges were on top of it. The penalties or corrections were a lot more as opposed to Anaheim. So you were a judge. Yeah. How did you think of the judging when you weren't judging?
Well, I'll give it the mixed bag. So I thought
I hate this font, by the way. I got to change this font.
I know you really struggle with this font thing. It really gets you. I thought the Elite 15 judging was really good. Now, and that was the only part I was a part of. I did see still some slack wall balls quite a bit. It's so hard. It's so hard. Burpees, there was some issues as well.
I was loving them wall ball judges when I got to my wall balls.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Listen, I just want really quickly. I just want to say we'll get to our individual races, but I just God damn this microphone. In my mind, I was going down, and I said Cheryl was good, and she was like. And then I saw the video and I was like, I can't even share them. Like, if I get close, I would share them. I'm not sharing horrible ones because then I'm just going to get murdered for it. So Cheryl's were on point. Congratulations, Cheryl. And then of course my relay wall balls were on point. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, and that was very much a similar thing throughout the day from what I saw. And I'll be honest, there was a couple of times where I didn't have my judge shirt on. I was tempted to go throw it on and just jump over the fence and start helping because there was help needed. And I didn't because I had races to run and other things to do. But I'll be honest, there was a time where I was watching a guy who was winning his wave. So I'm assuming probably fighting for a podium spot in his age. And his judge was not even looking at his depth. So I had to run over and get one of the head judges and tell him, get over there and fix it. And to that head judge's credit, he beelined it and took care of it as best as he could. So I believe it improved, but it also pointed out just how much more improvement is needed.
First of all, I want to say I loved the electronic thing. It worked great for me on my day. Didn't work good for you?
Well, actually, for me, it conked out a 99. It got stuck on 99. If you notice for Johanna during the race, I think it stopped at like 60 or 80 or something like that. I saw other people.
Yeah, I talked about that with Dylan. How we thought it was going to be a problem. From the stands, we thought it was going to be a problem.
Well, what we had was, as judges, we were also told, and this was especially during the Elite 15, was there was clickers as well for us to keep track in case it went down, to keep track from there. When it works, it's awesome. And I did think it was well dialed in with what was a rep and what was not, whereas before I thought it was overly sensitive. This time I thought what it was accepting was fantastic.
We all know I'm no Elite 15 athlete, and I only got no rep, I think twice. I was a little low.
Yeah.
He didn't say it, it just didn't click.
Yep, exactly.
Now I will say when we went, I noticed the judge was looking at two different things. So obviously you can't what's the word?
We're not on that level, Matt. I'm not finishing your sentences. You got to do this all by yourself. Use your words.
If you're judging two people, you clearly can't do as good as if you did one.
100%.
So I noticed he kind of looked at both, and he kind of said, okay, get a little lower, but I don't even know who he was talking to.
Yeah.
Because Cheryl was fine. I think so he must have been saying it to the other person, but you know what I'm saying? He was kind of going back and forth like they didn't have enough people. So when he got to me, I'm praying he doesn't say anything, and he didn't, and he probably should have. But they were better than if you saw the wall balls that were shared when I went to the PFT. They were better than that, but yeah. I got to go a little bit lower. But again, I think I'm fine with that for the masses. When you get those first groups coming from each age group, and like Tommy is usually talking about it, those are the people they should fucking pay attention to. Or the rest of us can have a good time. Those of us in that 90-minute range, give us a little bit of slack.
Yeah, you and I are always going to disagree on that one, but that's fine.
I know, that's fine.
That's fine. That's fine. And I get your point. And it does, especially the top people need to be paid attention to. But so I think everybody deserves the same quality. That's just me. I think they've all paid their money.
Dean says, the electronic was good for me. Plus, I like the data it provided. Can't remember exactly, but it was showing seconds per wall ball. Oh, I didn't even notice that if it did that.
Yeah, and it was also showing you not just only how many no reps you got, but if it was for depth or if it was for missing the target.
I just was looking at that counter.
Yeah.
And, Cheryl did a bunch, then I did some, then Cheryl did a bunch, then I did some, and I just wanted to see it tick away. And it was, like I said, there were two no reps somewhere for me. And I just, I didn't say anything. I just kind of kept going. And if it kept no repping, I might have turned to him.
Yeah. I had 4 no reps for missing the target, and they were all deserved.
Right. Well, you deserved it.
Yeah, I did.
So it sounds like, and I definitely want to talk about our individual races, but it sounds like you had a little bit, if there's good, bad, and ugly, it sounds like you had some bad you were holding on saying.
Well, I mean, just like I said, the judging is still a tough thing. It's still difficult. There was just issues across with the usual stations, with the burpees, with the wall balls, and it's going to forever be a struggle and something that they will constantly be working on. I think
my burpees are great, by the way. I do have some videos of my burpees if you want to see some amazing burpees.
Well, I will judge them. But they They on the negative side for so it's going to be a constant struggle, and I think the important thing was there was some improvement on this one that I saw over the past. They also did not have anyone waiting, as far as I know, have anyone waiting in like an area before, like that happened to Toronto where we had a holding pen. I never saw that set up. I never saw that happen. I was very happy about that.
Well, Cheryl pointed out on Friday that there wasn't even a pen.
Yeah.
And I thought that could be trouble because they kept saying 9,000. I haven't looked at the numbers. It's probably 7,000, but we knew it was going to be crowded.
But they did have, if you notice, it was almost like another rig of separate set of wall balls where they didn't all have counters. So they actually put even more targets. And I found a lot of times they did. You were saying you had maybe a guy judging 2 by you, but it looked to me like most of the time when I saw it, there was plenty of wall ball judges.
Well, this was Sunday 11. You know what I mean? When
I know I was running at the same time.
I'm just saying, like, so I don't know where they were during that part of the day.
It could have just been a freak moment, and it could also have been a miscommunication, because sometimes that zone is so big that people don't get communicated well enough to go all the way down to the end where there's more people, more targets open. Or
I listened to whatever the judge said. I mean, I listened and I said, "Where do you want me to go?" And they
just following Cheryl.
Well, but I specifically, like, I'm also like making. I also am always like concerned, like, will it be the right amount? Will it be the right? Will the sled be the right amount of whatever? Our sled got a little wonky on the pull, like it kind of was, and so our judge actually put his hand on it without pressure, but like just enough to kind of keep it straight, and it did make it a little bit easier. So
it was like pulling to one direction.
Yeah, and so like I said, he kind of put his finger on it. You know what I mean? So technically, it's helping it, but not really. Like it did feel a little bit smoother when I pushed on Friday night or Saturday night. I swear to God, I hit a fucking divot. I don't know what was on that, but like this, I thought this isn't normal.
It is possible because there's mats underneath the carpet.
Mats under the mats. I'm a mat.
That's right. There is one of you under the carpet,
right,
to keep track of people doing enough laps back and forth.
Right.
So it's possible that you could have got snagged on one of those, or just a roll in the carpet or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I felt it not enough to bother me a lot. Sorry, I'm looking for these photos. If you want to go over some of the comments while I look for these videos.
All right, holding pen should never be there for relay. 100%. Holding pen should only be there for relays. Yes, and should never be there for the thing. No waiting at all. That's awesome. Other things that kind of got me. And this one was out of HYROX's control, had nothing to do with them, but the bloody Uber situation as to where you could pick up and where you couldn't get picked up.
All right. So
that was nothing to do with HYROX. That was not their fault.
All right. So I'm going to give you some advice that we learned on day one. Lyft instead of Uber. Lyft, you could put the pin wherever you wanted. Uber was like only giving you like, be at this area. So when we went on our run on Friday morning, we went to the Puma HYROX thing. There was a little group run, and I went with Bubbles, and we start walking back, and we're like, all right, let's take an Uber. It's about 2 miles from here, whatever. And it told me where to go, but I'm just like, oh, the driver's going to see us, whatever. He couldn't see us. We ordered another one. It wanted us to be across the street this time.
Yeah.
So then we just started taking Lyft, and that's what I did everywhere.
Yeah.
Because Lyft like does the similar thing, but then you can move it. So it said for the north one, it said north, and then it said door 9 blue, whatever. And I just put it close to where I was, and I never had a problem. I got picked up like that. So yeah, if you're having a problem with Uber, use Lyft.
Yeah. And you just said the area is under construction, and I'm sure that had a lot to do with it.
Oh, and so getting dropped off, they wanted the cars to go all the way down or all the way around. Then I was like, oh no, just drop me off at the corner, and I can walk from here. So yeah, if you didn't know what you're doing, it could take longer.
Yeah. But like
not HYROX's fault.
Not HYROX's fault. That's the whole thing outside the venue. But yeah, other than that, I think things were pretty good. There was a lot of improvement. I just think there's more room to go, especially with the judging on the wall balls. And it is a very difficult thing to do, and it will take doing.
Carabiner locking carabiner.
Yeah. Well, we could talk about that. That's actually an equipment thing. So I saw myself personally 2 times the rope come unattached from the sled while people were doing sled pulls.
Oh no.
Yeah, and this is something that can easily be avoided by buying locking carabiners and having them put on there. We use them in my job all the time. Rock climbers, very, very familiar with them. They might be like a couple bucks more expensive, but they would stop that ever from happening. If you just have a regular spring gate carabiner, if you twist the rope in a
Spring
certain
gate,
direction,
is that the brand?
no, it's just like it's so. If you know what a carabiner is,
Yes, of course.
okay, so you know when you clip it on something, it automatically closes the gate.
Yes.
So that's a spring gate. You know, just
Oh,
it's
okay.
spring loaded. So,
Okay.
but those can easily come loose if it's twisted in a certain way.
Okay.
So if you have a locking carabiner, that cannot happen, and ergo the ropes would never come off.
Ergo. I can't find my videos, of
That's my
course.
big word. Volunteer food was gone by noon. Oh, that's not good. Yeah. We cannot have the volunteer food gone by. Volunteers need to be fed appropriately.
Were you fed appropriately as a judge?
You know what? No. But I was so
says
bloody
no.
busy that I didn't notice.
They gave you shoes.
I was shoed appropriately. Shod? I was definitely shoed appropriately. I was attired appropriately. They were very good to us.
All right, I'm going to switch this because I'm really pissed off. I'm going to get my head
having technical difficulties.
Really mad.
Yeah, no breaks for food. Yeah, that is always a tough thing, right? So many volunteers trying to organize breaks and get food and everything like that is hard, but it's something that should be high on the priority list because I mean, volunteers are volunteers. They're putting their time and effort and money most of the time to be there. And yeah, you got to feed them, man. We get hungry out there. And it's hard work and you don't get to stop. You don't get a lot of breaks. So yeah, I guess none of us really got the food. They had like snacks and stuff upstairs, but we need food. I never, like pizza. Yeah. Sandwiches are good. Anything like that. Do you guys have any other issues volunteering and stuff? A gift card to a close place. Oh, cool. I'll be honest, I didn't get that one, but I got shoes. The shoes are great. What else did we notice that was a deal breaker up there? I'm still not sure if I'm sold on the 2 laps for the farmer's carry. I get it, but I do know that it caused issues. There were people that missed laps. I guess that is technically on them because there was lots of signs saying that. They had pizza in Chicago. Yeah, well, that goes without saying.
They had pizza in Toronto.
Yeah, they had pizza for the volunteers. Yes, they did too. They had pizza in Toronto for the volunteers. What's up, Vegas? Is there no Vegas pizza? There should be. Maybe they just should have gave you like gambling chips and then you could have gambled for your food. You could have bet on it. Oh, Matt's kind of back. He's all going old school now. Do you got it figured out, Matt?
Hello?
Hey. We can hear you. Nope, maybe not. Nope, now he's just left. All right.
How did I jinx him?
Yes, definitely a lot of people were messing with the 2 laps. Yeah. Oh, now he's back, but he's on the other side. Let's just see how it goes.
Hello?
Okay, I can hear you.
I can hear you.
There you go.
Fantastic. Okay. So what else were you mad about?
I wasn't really mad about a lot of stuff. No, like I said, it was a good event overall. There's just some things that should use work, but it was a good event. It was well done. Yeah.
But not your favorite event? You like Toronto more?
Yeah, I did. That might be biased. That might be partly due to some of the cost of things around, right? Like you yourself, like how cheap it was when you came to Toronto, and
let's go.
Yeah,
Can't wait to go back to Toronto.
Exactly. So it was still good. I would say it was my second favorite. So I think that's pretty high praise.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just sharing this link so we can get some more viewers because people often forget. I'm like, oh man, you should have messaged me. I forgot.
Nice. Eden says he almost saw a married couple duke it out over if they'd done 2 laps or not.
I don't think it's that hard to count laps. I mean, I was counting, but there was a woman who was standing there like doing this to people.
I think I had the same woman when I did our farmer carry because she was on the money as far as volunteers go. She was keeping good track of who's on their first lap, who's on their second lap.
Yeah.
She did a great job. So hats off to her. By the way, also hats off to my wall ball judge who was in it, who was on it, and was paying really good attention. When Rye was doing her reps, he came over and he's like, your depth is great. Let's go. Let's do this. He was right in there. He was on the ball. So I had a really good judge. Went by and thanked him afterwards.
All right, should we get to how horrible timing is?
Sure. Horror timing sucks.
All right, timing sucks.
And we're moving. No, timing sucks.
My intention was to talk to Mo on the record,
Mhm.
have him come on the show. We talked shortly before he started his race, and then I messaged him later and said, now can we talk officially? And he said no. And I said, well, I'm going to say the things that you said to me. And he said, okay. But it's not exactly clear.
Okay.
So the short answer is that it's the things that are not working now should be working in terms of like typing in your name and seeing your results and then touching it. So like that doesn't work now and they're fixing it, right?
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't.
Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. There's no stats. We have 2 station stats for my relay team. And I thought I'd wait till the weekend to pass and then write them, but who knows?
Yeah.
And then I said, what about seeing everybody's information? And he said, that's going away. You're going to have an account. You log in, all your races will be there. And I said, what if I want to see someone else's races? He says, well, that costs money. And I said, didn't you yourself say on the Business of Sport podcast, Mo, that you like that there is an ecosystem that has grown up around your business? Like, that's how you know you have a real business, is that there's coaches and platforms. And he says, yes, but they shouldn't just scrape our information to be able to get it for free. And I said, okay. So I was trying to get him to give me a more clear answer on that. Like, I wouldn't charge at all, right?
No.
But how I would do it if they are going to do that is like there's a personal charge and like maybe like a coaching charge. So it's like if you want to coach, you pay 5x a month or a year, and that gives you unlimited data. But they haven't said that. They just said you're going to have to pay to get other information. And then I also said, from a media perspective, I want information as well. And he's like, well, that's different. Your media will talk about that. So, but that's the short end. And remember, I was the one saying they didn't want to charge. I was the one defending them.
Yeah.
But get ready. If you're Rox Opt or Rox Coach or, Anthony or anybody coaching, like, I think it's coming. I think charging for data is coming.
Can I tell you a saying we have in construction?
Looks good for my house.
You pinch the pennies, you lose the dollar bills.
Right. And this is the first time they've done something this, I would say, greedy. This is just a greed move that just seems extremely short-sighted. Like, it's what we love about your race is the fucking data. It's like huge. I mean, are they going to lose registrations because of it? Like,
eventually they will.
Eventually, right. But like, it's just.
So here's the thing. It's one thing to add a service and ask people to pay for it. It's another one to take away a service that people have been getting for free the whole time. So you've made your product less valuable. And that's a big mistake. In my mind, like that's like nobody, not a single person is happy about this. It's a bad move.
Well, and just the fact that in its initial layout, let's say they get it better. This initial layout wasn't bad for like 24 hours. It's like we're going on the 3rd week now of everybody going, what the fuck? What the fuck? That no one in your community should be saying what the fuck, and everybody is saying it. Everybody. Now, again, they all went to the race. They're all signing up for the next one. But it's like, come on, guys. You had this thing. Someone pointed out to me that was one of the things. Oh, Spin pointed out to me that was one of the things that Hunter was saying when like him and Hiller were going back and forth, was like, our data's great, and this is why it's so good for athletes and why it's so good for the sport. And so, Spin posted incorrect information this week about wall balls and
3 times.
3 times. And I invited him on, actually.
Right. Still working on it.
We were messaging back and forth. I invited him on the show. He's traveling, so he can't come on. But yeah, it's like, come on, man. Come on, HYROX. What are you doing?
Yeah, it's like I said, pinch the pennies, you're going to lose the dollar bills. It's a big mistake. And it might not seem like it to them right now, but it reeks of when the accountants are getting involved as opposed to when the people who know sport and know business, it's a bad move.
So here's the business piece that I thought they would do sooner, which is the Rox tickets thing, right? Like, hey,
let's learn how to do this. A, it makes our customers happier. B, we get paid twice, right?
Mhm.
We get the $25 or whatever it is that you're going to charge people, and it's clearly something that people need. Your events sell out. Learn how to do that. Like, we know that technology exists for all the ticket resellers. So that's the one that I thought, well, clearly HYROX tickets is going to be out of business, and they're not, and then those guys are fucked. But again, the sites that collect data for you, and like, again, it's good to have that, guys. It's not bad.
And it's not just that, it's just, I think me as a racer, when I go, and before when I looked at it, I'm like, okay, here's I am, here's the, maybe I'm 25th. Here's the 5 guys in front of me. All right, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm seeing that. That's awesome. That's great. I can see where I got to be, where they're going to get me, how, la da 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 da. Now I look at it, and it's just gotten to the point where I can see where I came in my division.
Right.
And
But you still don't know how you did
I don't know
overall.
who beat me. I don't know who I beat. I don't know out of how many. Was I 15th out of 15, or was I 15 out of 300?
Well, somehow Rock's coach is able to get some of the data. I don't know how they're doing it. But even that's not quite right. Like, they had our team on there, but it didn't have our team's time. So let's see if we can look it up. Let's look it up, Dave.
Right,
Rock's coach.
While you're looking that up, Elite 15 coverage on YouTube was awesome. Well, what I've seen so far and what I've heard, I haven't got through it yet. I've been pretty busy, but their coverage gets better and better and better and better right now. And then when I look back, and I always compare it to the CrossFit coverage, and if I look at the coverage of Wadapalooza, it was night and day better than that.
So your name is Claxton?
Blackstone, yes. There you go.
Who's Raleigh Smith?
And that's her maiden name. Sort of.
All right. Well, I don't know who she is, but
that's the right one.
I thought she was Rye Claxton OFX.
She goes by that.
Okay. So it's like a what do you call it? It's like a Lindsay Webster situation.
Exactly.
I don't want this. Okay, let's just go to Las Vegas. Are you Dave or David?
Dave.
Dave.
You got no time to write the extra letter.
All right, so it doesn't come up.
Yeah,
sorry, I spoke too soon. Just your Raleigh comes up. How about, what's your age group?
Well, we only did doubles, but that would be 40 to 49.
Oh, so you didn't race individual?
No.
Oh, okay. So, do you guys want to know how you did?
Well, we know our time, but sure.
Well, are you able to see this?
Yes, I'm seeing it.
Your best lap was 5:16.
Yep.
Your workout total was 30:23.
Yep.
Your Rox Zone title was 7:06. How'd you feel about that Rox Zone?
Rox Zone was big, but it was good. And it's actually funny because if I look at our time on the HYROX app or HYROX standings, it had said our Rox Zone time was 20 minutes and 20 seconds, which seemed a bit much.
All right. You want to compare us
to
you?
All right, let's do it.
Okay, let's relive the race. Oh, you're pushing ahead. Oh, sled much faster. Running, you're pulling ahead again. Pull, you're faster. Running, you're way faster. Burpee broad jumps. Oh, you're crushing us. Oh, you were already on run 7. We were doing the farmers. Wow.
Yeah.
You lapped us, bro.
Yeah, so we would have started wall balls before.
You won. Congratulations.
Yeah, we got you. It was good. I think we all could have done better, but it was still a good race. I wish we had been able to be in the same heat though. That would have been fun.
It definitely would have been fun. And it might have actually pushed me like harder. Like something like
it would have made Cheryl push you harder.
Perhaps. Okay. So the first run, you were only 9 seconds ahead, right?
Yeah, I think you just chilled on the first run.
Skierg, 22 seconds. You skied 22 seconds faster than us? How is that possible?
Because
that can't be right.
On the ski.
No, sorry. It's only 9 seconds. It was the run. It was the 6:03 to 6:12 is the total time.
Yeah.
Second run, you're 30 seconds ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Sled push. You only did the push a second faster than us, Dave.
Yep, just chilling.
The push, you were 20 seconds faster. BBJ, 40 seconds faster.
Yeah, we're good at those.
Row 21 seconds faster. Dang.
Wow, we were chilling on the row.
Shut up. Just shut up. You're only 20 seconds faster on the 7th run.
Yeah.
Ooh, we beat you in the lunges. Let's go.
I
it.
you deserved it. I came out of the gate on those lunges too. I almost fell over twice on like my first 3 lunges.
Cheryl, I hope you're watching. We fucking beat them on the lunges.
Yep.
How much?
How much?
We beat you by 13 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I put up a post too. Riley did way more of the lunges than she was supposed to.
Your wall balls are only 9 seconds faster.
Yeah.
And Rox Zone,
but we went to depth.
according to you.
According to my judge, man, he was on the ball. That guy was awesome. I got video. Actually, thanks Pamela Fox, who I don't know why she was in there if she was judging or not, but she took a video of our entire
Pamela. So Pamela is the one who sent me the videos. I couldn't find them.
Oh, okay. So she sent me mine too. She was awesome. She's cool. She's a great athlete, good person.
Pamela, you rock. We love you, Pam.
Yeah.
We love you, Pam. Oh, yes, we do.
But yeah. Our biggest thing for us
there's the burpee broad jumps. Oh, you can't tell if my hands are in front of me.
I can tell right there because I can see from that line. Go back up. Go back again. Let me see that first one.
Hang on.
I might shoot you down right on that one right away.
Okay. That's good. That's not even. That's not a foot.
Oh, you're like no. You totally. Yep, totally too far.
There's a judge right there, Dave.
I know your judge is wrong.
Am I going too far?
Either way, so I've heard. Yeah, totally. Actually heard. I listened to your podcast with Rich, and
Rich
was an interview on your last podcast. It's up today. I listened to that. Yes, we were talking with Rich Ryan.
The one with what's his name is up today.
You put one out with
Dylan.
interviews.
Dylan.
Yeah, but Rich is on there too.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not very bright, Dave. I don't know who I talked to. Yes.
That's okay. So anyway, he was talking about the confusion with where the hands go on the burpee broad jumps.
Cheryl says I'm on point, so suck it.
Cheryl,
did you hear?
Completely biased.
Cheryl, did you hear that we were 13 seconds faster on the lunges? Or no, on the
lunges.
On the lunges.
And you owned it. I own it. That was on me. That was
okay. So Rich was saying he got corrected.
Yes. Now, because there was confusion, and I agree with him. There can be a lot of confusion about exactly where the hands go. You were saying you thought they had to go right where your feet were,
but I didn't know you had a whole foot. Once I learned that, I was like, oh, I'm in good shape.
No, but you're still not. But anyway, so the deal is, as it was explained for us, and this is something I have that I believe HYROX needs to really clean up their rule book with.
Yeah, I had no idea.
We were told it is 12 inches from the front of your foot to the tip of your finger,
as opposed to
the back of the middle of your hand, the back of your hand, anywhere. It's 12 inches. Yeah, because I used to think it was the back of the hand too, but it is from the tip of your finger to the front of your foot, 12 inches, which is not very far when you consider your hand probably spans 5 to 6 inches. So but you can only have about 6 inches of space between the front of your foot and the back of your hand, realistically.
Well, you know why your hand can't be 12 inches?
Why is that, Matt?
Because then it would be a foot.
There you go. So, yeah. So that's what was explained to us as far as the rule. Now, why that is not listed in the rule book, I do not know.
What does it say in the rule book?
It says your hand placement must be within a foot of
12 inches.
It says a foot actually.
I got a question for you, Dave.
Where you land.
Speaking of rules.
What
Dave,
rules do you want to talk about? I'm all about the rules.
Should one be allowed to take their shoes off?
Hell yeah.
Yes.
Got no problem with it.
I wasn't talking to you, Rye. Hush down over there.
No problem with it. And for everyone who said anything to Dylan, read the bloody rule book. He didn't even have to ask about that. It's nowhere in the rule book to be found.
It's nowhere in the rule book that you can or you can't, you're saying.
Correct.
Well, then why would that guy's immediate reaction be to yell at him, whoever it was that yelled at him?
No idea. No idea. A lot of people think there's things in there that there's not, and a lot of people think that there's not things in there that there is.
So should the rule book read, an athlete can remove any article of clothing as long as they finish with it, or should there not be anything?
I agree that I would write it that if you bring a article of clothing or a piece of equipment with you on the course, it needs to come off with you for simple housekeeping and safety sake.
Right. So I do think he should have had to get them, but he didn't. He just chucked
But
them.
it was nowhere in the rule book at this time that says that he needed to. For example, if we were to imply that rule, that also means every dude that tosses his shirt off during the race needs to go back and get it and cross the finish line with it.
Right, which they do not do.
Which they do not do.
So
it's
then
the
then there does need to be, there should be a rule then. It does need clarification.
I agree. Yeah, there should be, but
because there's gloves as well, right?
Gloves, yep, gloves, hydration packs,
all that stuff,
all that stuff. So I agree there should be a rule there, but there is not. So what Dylan did was 100% acceptable.
Yeah, I think if you take your shoes off, you should finish with them. But
yeah, I'm
not mad that they didn't penalize him for it.
No, well, they could not. If they had penalized for him, I would have raised holy hell, because there's nothing in the rule book to penalize him for that.
Right.
And you can't just start randomly handing out penalties that aren't in the rule book because you don't like the way it looks.
Well, if it was fucking Spartan, it would have.
Yeah, not if I'm watching it.
Well, what about your point about other races?
All right, hold on. She's reminding me of something now.
Oh, triathlons.
Oh, yeah, like triathlons and stuff. Like those guys are able to change their shoes. Because some people were saying straight out that he shouldn't be able to remove them at all.
Yeah, and I think that's ridiculous.
Because that's where I said, well, like triathlon, I'm pretty sure you can change your shoes for different scenarios. You know, from your swim to your bike to your run, depending on what you're doing.
Right, but it's also like if you were on the push and your shoes were giving you a hard time and you took them off, like Corinna did in her first race. Like as long as you grab them and either run with them physically in your hands or put them back on your feet, I have no issue at all. But yeah, that's a good point about tops, because men and women both they're probably women that start with, you know, tops over a sports bra and then take it off or whatever. So they need some sort of housekeeping rule. Someone was saying, did I hear someone say, maybe this was a different race, that somebody got handed something, a water or something too, like an Elite 15 athlete?
I didn't hear that about this race, but I have heard of that in the past. And I would have to dive back into rule books, because sometimes I get my rule books confused.
I know, you're such a rule guy.
But to the best of my knowledge, that is not permissible.
Okay, so Shiz says no advantages anyway. So that's my question. What did you think about the sandbag rule that Dylan and I talked about?
Setting the sandbag down.
No. He said they kept telling him to put her on his shoulders instead of his back. And what if you hold it with one hand? If you hold it with one hand, that's not an advantage. So again, why does it matter? As long as it's on your person and not on the ground.
So I will say, okay, so two questions there. One, holding it with one hand over one shoulder is actually an advantage. Because then you can put your other hand, it's easier to put your hand on your knees to help push yourself up. You see that all the time in DEKA when we do the reverse lunges. Put your hand on your knee, help yourself sit, push yourself up. All right. So there's an advantage to that. Dylan's
as long as there's two hands on the apparatus, then how about that?
So Dylan's particular scenario, where it was, I guess, sliding down lower on his back. I do not think there's a huge advantage to that. I believe, and I haven't been clarified on this, so I was thinking about it. I think the reason that the rule states must be across both shoulders is because that will help encourage people to get full extension when they stand up. If you let that sag down on your back, you're more inclined to lean forward and to short the extension.
Okay.
Right? So I'm guessing that's why. If I was judging him and saw that, would I have done it? Would have to be pretty severe. And the one thing I can back that judge up on is the rules does say across both shoulders. So if it got down low enough, yeah, I guess they can make it. I've never really seen that be an issue before.
Where were you in the Elite 15? Who did they put you on?
So they don't put us on a particular person. They put you on a lane.
Okay, so what lane number?
I was like on lane 12.
Okay, so did you find the push easier? What did you think about what he said about that? What Dylan said about that?
It did seem like some of the people were coming out pretty fast, or like having faster pushes in the back end on that side. I will say this though, because I also heard something about the carpet being different on the front one. Now, from what I noticed, is it's not one big carpet across like 8 lanes. It's like one carpet covers one lane, another carpet covers the other lane. So they are all very different and they get rotated around. So yeah, it's quite possible that there was a faster carpet on some of the back lanes.
Okay, so when I felt my divot, I was all the way down Like I was the second lane over on the push when I
Mm-hmm.
did my relay. So was that where the fast people went, or was they on the other end? I'm trying to remember. Or did they start on the other side?
So this was for your push, right?
My push on the relay, I was
on the
like,
relay.
you know, keep coming. I was basically the second lane. Or
So
maybe
that would have
third.
been where they were saying was faster.
Okay. Well, I definitely felt a divot. I was on lane 2 or 3. I can't remember.
Oh yeah, and I'm sure it happened, right? Like it could be like I said, something under the carpet. Could be a little roll. Could be a crease in the concrete floor underneath the carpet. It can be anything. I've heard. I did listen to a podcast. I believe it was HYROX Daily, and if any of you haven't listened to this, they had Mintra on. So I'm not telling secrets or anything like this. This was public. She said that they are looking at different turf. For the
Right.
future.
Right. They had said that. Which I'm surprised they haven't mastered that yet.
Yeah, who knows the logic as to why or why not, but it does make things more conducive with most gyms who have turf, and I think it will make it more consistent. That said, we saw the turf work in fastest lanes were towards the back of the room. Yeah, we saw the turf in New York, and I heard some people complain as the day went on, it got slower. So I don't know how it will wear over time. We'll see.
So speaking of which, I will say, HYROX, we all appreciate good photos, and I have to say that at the relay, 9 o'clock at night, there's still a photographer there, and I notice when I'm pushing, they stop, they get the guy next to me, they stop, they get me, they stop, they get the next person. So shout out those photographers. I mean, maybe they don't work 6A to 9P, maybe they cut the shifts up, but either way, they bother to give us all the same love, except for some reason on our relay, they only got Cheryl on a couple of stations, so just bad timing, right? That like they got her, and it's like if they'd waited an extra second or two, it would have been my turn. But I gotta say, I always appreciate that even late in the day relays, you get somebody bothering to take your picture.
It's because Cheryl is more attractive than you.
Clearly that's the thing. But you want to have a couple.
Yes.
I mean, I actually wore a sleeveless shirt, which I very rarely do, and I thought, my
Throwing out
push
the
photos are going to look amazing. They look okay. They don't look amazing.
Some of the photographers I saw, I agree, most photographers are good, but on the sled pull, they get a little bit in the way sometimes on the sled pull, tripping over ropes and stuff.
Well, those ropes are tricky. Our judge moved our rope for us, by the way. Are they supposed to do that? I was fine that they did.
Whereabouts did they move it? Like
on the
behind
pole
you?
when it was getting,
No, they're not supposed to touch it.
Okay,
And
well,
neither's your teammate.
All right. What's that?
Neither's your teammate.
Right. I know my teammate isn't supposed to, but Cheryl, I don't know if you're still on here, but I definitely noticed. And he was also, then I told the other judge, like, put their finger on the top to like make sure it would go straight. So I was thrilled.
That one I would say is probably fine. I don't think there's anything out there that says against that. I'm not really sure the math on how that works, the physics about how that would help keep it straight, but whatever.
Okay, so if you're pushing down, don't you understand?
Are you pushing down in the center or at the back?
At the center.
If you're pushing at the center, I don't see as
the
much.
Center is where the weights go over it, right?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Now I would think if you're trying to keep it straight, and I would have pushed down at the back, because then that would be like anchoring it and straightening the front out more.
No, he pushed down from the middle, which made sense to me.
I'm just saying it would have been better to push from the back, to push down at the back.
Okay. Yeah. So listen, he's saying he's being helpful. According to that, we cheated, Cheryl. He's not supposed to do that.
Yeah. CrossFit media team was getting in the way all the time. Yep.
Well, I would say this is ironic because I got in trouble for being on the course, which I'm not supposed to, but I thought it would be fine for me to cross the course, not wait, and I didn't wait, and someone took a picture of me and sent it to the media team upstairs, and they said you don't get to have a media pass the rest of the weekend, and I was like, okay. So I saw that happen. I saw Jesse's post, and I thought, isn't that ironic? You know what I mean? Like the CrossFit guys, they want all that amazing CrossFit media who's actually in people's way. And me, I just happened to be on the course, and they were like, you can't be on here. And I was like, okay, all right. I gave them I mean, it's fine. Like, I don't have to be on the course. I don't have to have a what do you call it? A badge. I'll just be like on the spectator side. But so anyway,
this is a jump around a little bit. What did you think about all the extra, let's call it outside media on the course?
Well, I mean, they clearly like when all those, like, there was a reel made for like every single CrossFit athlete this weekend, and so I think I didn't notice a lot, but where did you notice it?
Well, I mean, I noticed obviously the Buttery Bros out there quite a bit, and then what's his name? He's another YouTube influencer. He was out during the doubles. I think.
Choi?
Yeah, he had his crew out there or something.
I saw Choi in Chicago and was shocked because this was shortly after he got hammered for the New York Marathon. But apparently, you're not going to stop him. That guy's going to bring a bunch of cameras.
Yeah. Now I'm assuming they're paying to allow those cameras to be on there, or they're getting told by HYROX they're paying extra for it, because there's no way they're just allowing people to.
Oh no, they are. They listen. So Friday I showed up, and I wasn't going to go on the course on Friday because I know they're doing their live stream, and I wouldn't dare go on there during the Elite 15, right?
Yeah.
But I went to get my pass. This is a little behind the scenes inside of baseball for people. Just telling you what happened. I was told only our partners are getting on the course today. Fine. And I was watching the Go Brewing guys, the Feed guys. They were all like, if you watched, they like walked onto the course, like waiting for them to get to the wall balls. They weren't in the way, but clearly, like, there's a bunch of guys who clearly aren't media. They're just sponsors, and that's what you do for a sponsor, right? You give them extra love and extra whatever.
Absolutely.
So when these big CrossFit guys show up, they want that CrossFit love and that CrossFit share. So yeah, they let them on the course. They don't. I mean, I think they actually paid the Buttery Bros 2 years ago to like give them content, but now I don't think they don't. They just let them have it. But yeah,
do you know we all missed it on a celebrity that ran that day, and we all missed it.
Which one?
Joseph Newgarden, Indy 500 champion.
Do not know him.
So yeah, he's won the Indy 500 I think twice. He races in obviously the Indy circuit for Penske, and he ran HYROX in Vegas in the men's pro wave and did quite well. He was a 114.
Oh, good for him.
So and yeah, he didn't make a big fanfare about it, but he posted just today. I just saw it, and I'm a race car fan. I'm actually I root for his team, for Penske.
Right.
And all of a sudden I see this post from him, HYROX in Vegas. I actually watched him race at the time and did not recognize him. And I thought, oh my God, that's awesome.
Well, I think during the Elite 15, they're very conscious of who's on the course. And I think other than that, they don't watch those guys as closely. They just kind of let them, do their thing. And so I didn't see anybody in anybody's way, but I did see Jesse Bruce post, these guys got in my way. So maybe he complained, maybe he didn't, but no, I did not see them. But I know that they really like it when all these CrossFit guys are on there.
Yeah. Now, so do we talk about Sprague and Spin's post?
Yeah.
All right. So first off, Sprague did great.
Yes.
He did fantastic. He ran like a 103 low, 103.5 or something, 103.05 for his first pro race, which is amazing. It's great, but it's not at all surprising. Like I see these comments online, like people think that the HYROX group is all, oh, CrossFitters can't do well at this. No, nobody believes that. And Anthony said it best. It's like, incredibly fit man does pretty well at fitness competition. This is not a surprise. Nobody.
But that's the thing. So I know Spin pretty well, and like I said, I think he's kind of like half trolling, because like he's not the one saying CrossFitters are going to come and clean up.
No,
he knows they're not winning.
His okay. Now, and I like Spin, and I respect him, especially because nobody digs out as much great information about CrossFit as he does. He's fantastic.
He does the hard work.
So
the headline was Sprague qualifies for HYROX World Championship. That was the headline.
The headline was Sprague qualifies for HYROX World Championship, and then the next in the comments was, or in the description was, has fastest wall ball time of the pro men originally. And then obviously some of us corrected him and said, well, he didn't. And then we pointed out, then he put Elite 15 fastest wall ball time, and then we pointed out, no, there's 3 Elite 15s that were faster than him, and so on and so forth. The basis is, what happened is James Sprague did qualify for World Championship in age group.
Right.
Which is awesome. But that post is extremely misleading and is total clickbait.
No, listen, like I said, I think he knows that. And I messaged him before I put him on blast, because I know the guy. I was like, hey, I don't know that that's so. The data doesn't work as well as it used to. He's like, well, I just looked, and he said, well, Sprague said it. I'm like, well, Sprague might be looking at what he's looking at. I said, but there was a race on Friday night that's completely different, and that's actually those are the best guys. Sprague didn't race with the best guys, and he said something else, and I pointed it out. And again, like, I'm not going to fight him on it publicly because who cares? But yeah, there are of course comments on that are like, yeah, CrossFit is the most fit people. Why do people like HYROX? It's like I said, you could post that Tia finished last, and people would be like, yeah, but CrossFit's still the best. It's just like,
and so let me put this as equivalent. This would be the equivalent of me saying Lauren Weeks qualifies or wins semifinals and is going to the games. But in actuality, what she did was she won her age group at the semifinals and is going to the age group games.
Yes, there you go. Great analogy.
Exactly the same thing. And they would be outraged.
Right.
So I'm not outraged. I'm just saying, we got to call a spade. And the man did incredibly well. He had a great race. He put it out there. And he deserves to go to World Championships.
Yeah, and also he wrote Wood Unbroken, and Sprague was like, no, I didn't go unbroken. Like, so I don't know where he even got that piece. But, well, speaking of outrage, though, how about our buddy Dylan, who last time I looked had 2 million views. I'm going to see how much it's got now. Yeah. Boy, is the internet do internet things with that. I was, like I said on my interview with him, the first comment I saw was Newberry, and I was like, why is Newberry doing this?
Surprised. Okay, so what part do you want to address first? The comments or the reaction first? Dylan's celebration.
Well, I want to find the celebration first. I want to see how many views it's got. There's a lot of posts on here. It is up to, hang on, 32,000 hearts and 228 shares, which is the equivalent of how many views? Hang on, sorry. Because I was impressed that my video with him is up to like 200K, which is a shitload for a video for mine. But in this case, hang on.
It's nearly as popular as a 19-year-old girl smiling.
2.7 million of him saying, of him spitting in excitement and saying, do I have to fucking tell you who I am? Which I thought was great.
Yeah, and don't underestimate me.
And then mine was just don't underestimate me. Which he said very humbly when I said, what do you want to tell the people? And he said, because I didn't know what he said. I just saw spitting and yelling from the stands.
Yeah.
So when I go up to him 10 minutes, 20 minutes later, and I said, hey man, what do you want to tell the people? He's like, hey man, just don't ever give up on me. It's the worst mistake you'll ever make. And like I said on my podcast, like, that's all of us want. Yeah. All of us just want to not be forgotten about or given up on.
Okay. First off, Dylan's celebration, complete and utter joy and excitement. He did not badmouth anyone. He didn't put anybody down. He didn't do anything negative. Why anyone would complain about what he did, I have no freaking idea. He went out and he worked his ass off. He trained like a madman, and he accomplished an incredible goal. This is not something... He didn't go up there and say, you fucking suck, or you were this.
That's what you would think. Based on what people wrote, that's what you would think. And again, the random interneters, now that this has gone viral and 2 million, I expect from. James Newberry's like, oh, you could have been humble. So like, when you finish a race and you've killed it, you should never do that. Like I said, with Patrick Mahomes never allowed to say fuck yeah. Like,
how many times have we seen T across the line with a big one going, yeah?
I should have said that to him. If I'd have thought of it, I should. So
totally cool. There's nothing
Tia
wrong
should
with
never do that when she fucking deadlifts a ton of weight.
Yeah, that's a joyous celebration. That is okay.
Yeah, and again, you would think he went like, "Fuck you, everybody sucks, but me, suck my dick." I wasn't even thinking about Tia, and that's his partner.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't. Getting on the celebration or any of it, I do not get why Dylan would have gotten any bad negative comments from this.
Yeah,
it makes no sense to me whatsoever. Well, yeah, you can't be surprised because the internet does internet things.
But this James one, I was surprised, and I've been trying to interview James. Hopefully, I get to ask him about it.
And I mean, and we don't have to defend Dylan out there. He's out there slaying trolls like mad. It doesn't matter. He's on fire. Dylan's way too smart for most of you guys. It just bothers me because you see a guy who beats the odds and works his ass off, and all you want to do is critique him being happy that he succeeded. And It's terrible.
Yeah, I'm just glad he really didn't let it get him down. I'm glad he took the high road and was just like killing the commenters. And
Yeah.
I just, we get to know these guys, and it's hard to just not be so happy. When you see someone like him, he finished 15th. I say it again, 15th in Amsterdam, ladies and gentlemen.
Mhm.
So you finish last and think you're the worst POS in the world, and then you come back and beat everybody, including Hunter, including JK. Like, yeah, you get to celebrate a little bit.
Yeah. And like I said, when your celebration is, what did he scream? Do I have to tell you my name? That's it.
Whatever.
Which, by the way, so many people I saw in the comments going, I don't even know who this guy is. So yes, he does have to tell you his name. So he was right.
And it's so funny. He goes, Matt, remember, I'm the guy who said, that's not the first time I've screamed at a camera. He's like, I'm the guy that said, Jack, you suck, for his Excel spreadsheets.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm the one. I said, oh, remember when you yelled about they tried to give us a 9 kg ball for the relay? And he mentioned 2 other times that I forgot about. He's like, I'm always yelling at the camera.
The other one I remember when he taunted all of the European racers.
Yes, that
and
one.
Then
he's like,
immediately after went back in the same camera and says, I'm just kidding. I love you guys and all that stuff. Right? Like Dylan he's having fun, and in this particular occasion,
well, yeah, and again, like, how badly people get on Hunter, and Hunter says way worse things than that. It's like
Hunter was celebrating going into the first zone, second zone.
But again, like, I think what Dylan said, like that's what Hunter needs to do to like keep himself pumped up. I don't begrudge anybody that.
Yeah. But if he's doing that, how can you be on Dylan for being excited for the win when Hunter is a quarter of the way in the race celebrating?
We covered that one. I have one.
Yeah.
Did you gamble at all in Vegas?
Not a bit.
I did not either, and I haven't the last 10 times I've gone. I haven't.
I have one poker chip here, and it actually came from HYROX.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't get one of those.
It was in a grab bag. You had to go ask about the shoes, and then they give you like this bag with. And look, they give you this.
Dude, did you get the cool Vegas patch with all the cards? Because I didn't get one of those either.
I don't even know where the hell you got those.
Maybe you had to buy it. I don't know.
I got the regular patch, which is okay, but I was kind of disappointed.
I got the regular HYROX patch as well. Well, when I do gamble, and I haven't in a long time, I like poker, like most of us do, like every good red-blooded American male, and I like craps. Craps is an amazing game that is community-based, right? It's not me against you, it's us against the house. And so, like, if you and I are betting similarly, we can all win, right? That's why, like, it's like the kind of, in every movie, the guy has the pretty woman blow on the dice, he throws the dice, yay! It's a great game. I happened to walk by a craps table at Circus, which is where I was staying, and they had taken all the fun out of it. Okay, it was the board was, it was like just LED lights, and everyone had their own screen in front of them where you bet instead of saying it to the dealer. And that's the part of the excitement and the chaos is like, put me up in my hard ways, put me this, press that, you do all this stuff. And so if you're doing that, and they were sitting, not standing. And so they turned it into a fucking slot machine and took all the fun out of it. I was so upset, Dave. They completely sanitized this amazing game. Now, I don't know those that are in Vegas if this is just at Circus or just at the cheaper ends, but I was very disappointed.
I don't blame you. So in the past when I have gambled, I've played poker and stuff like that. And when I would do it, would be poker or blackjack. And you would never see me play blackjack on a machine.
Right? Why?
It's just not, it doesn't have that feel.
You do that in your house. Yeah, because even blackjack, you're playing against the dealer. You're excited when everyone wins.
And when people beside you win, it doesn't hurt you.
Yeah, and when the dealer busts, we're all thrilled, right? So craps is similar. And it's so, like, I've seen it happen so many times where someone will come up and say, can you teach me how to play? And then, like, within like 20 minutes, they then can teach it to the next person. Like, you got to do this. It's so much fun. You just roll the dice. And anyway, I put that in my notes to remember. I don't know why I thought it was so important, but it is. So there you go.
Do you want to talk about the actual races?
Which one?
I don't know, the Elite 15, like what actually happened.
Yeah, I've got that in my notes too. Elite 15. We were just so busy talking about everything else.
I know.
You want to know what my notes say, by the way?
What?
Here's what my notes say. Elite 15, which we haven't checked off yet. Craps, Dylan
Mhm.
Scott, our races, timing, size of venue, general vibe. That's been the topic so far.
Okay. General vibe was great. We didn't catch it. Good
Okay.
general vibe.
Okay, Elite 15. Let's talk about yeah, what was your perspective? Like obviously you're judging, but then like when your zone is now clear and they take off, are you thinking like, oh wow, Dylan's doing great or whatever?
Oh yeah, I was totally into both races. Like right off the bat, just Lauren's amazing dominance in what she was doing. Just paying attention to that and seeing that. Uh, she's just, I mean, we say another level right now. Meg's not in the loop; she's still recovering from her surgery. So we'll see if those two are still together. And Johanna obviously has beat Lauren one time, but just when Lauren she just seems so unbeatable. She's just so fast on that run, like just off the start that she's gone.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, maybe Joanna can keep up with her, but it's like, nope, not this time.
It's like an absolute dare. It's like I defy you to run with me.
Yeah, and I interviewed Joanna and I asked her about it, and she just said, yeah, I was fine to let her go out, and like it's another great opportunity to compete against her, and like maybe at the world champs she'll be different, but for this one she was like, yeah, like she's an absolute weapon. That's what she said.
Weapon is the right word. So she was amazing. Amy Bevilacqua, who I was lucky enough to get to spend some time with later on. We had some great chats, had a lot of fun with. She is just unbelievable. What she's doing at 51. By the way, she made sure to let us know 51, not 54.
Yeah, well, he kept saying 50 something. The judge kept saying 50 or Tommy kept saying 50 something.
51. Anyway, so
she's younger than me.
Yeah, she's just unbelievable. And then she went out and did a doubles relay with somebody and had a great time. And she's
she was in my heat.
Oh, was she? Yeah, everybody. Okay, I got screwed. That heat had so many people that I know and like and would like to race with and be around. And we got bumped to the 1150 wave and didn't know anybody.
Yeah, so we had Jess and Ted Petro.
Yep.
We had Tara, and who did Tara race with?
Oh, she raced with Resolute Coffee.
Oh, Brian. That's right. So yeah, Brian and Tara. Who am I forgetting?
Beth and Jeff.
Yeah, Beth and Jeff.
What's that?
Bethany and Jeff were in that wave.
Bethany McChesney and Jeff. Chris Roglowski and this older guy that she's like, he just asked me to race. And then Chris Roglowski, every time she ran past me, which was a few times, punched me in the shoulder and said, run faster. So fuck you, Chris. I was so mad every time she did it.
Well, that's better than me. The last time in New York when I got passed by Tara and J-Fit, I got smacked in the ass. So you're doing better than I was.
Well, I feel like we're forgetting more, but yeah, I did my
tons of cool people night. By the way, Jess Petro was I was judging her by the way, and she came up and thanked me later, and we had a little chat, and she was such a cool person, and her and her husband were fast.
Yeah, he's a stud. Ted's a stud. He was so excited to race in the same wave as me. I'm like, well, you're not going to see me much, so he passed me a couple times. God, who else do we see? We should go to the mixed doubles and look. Well, can we even?
Yeah.
Rox Coach is no longer working. Can anybody get Rox Coach to load?
Oh God. Anyway, it was that was just good. But yeah, back to the other women and stuff in that wave. It was really good racing, really fun to see. I think those were the ones that jumped out at me the most. Was Amy. Oh, and oh my God, the young British girl. Lucy. Looking at the start like she was in over her head and then grabs a world's qual. Like that is maturity beyond her years. And that just shows what a great racer she's going to be. And
she's an amazing guest. I got to interview her, and she's hilarious. She talks a mile a minute and isn't afraid to speak her mind. So look forward to that interview coming out.
Well, good. So the internet should be all over her, trashing her soon enough then.
Right. Well,
the last thing we need is a young spirited woman with a mind of her own. We don't want any part of that.
This is so weird. Lauren Weeks. Okay, so let's see. I want to look at Lauren's first run. Lauren's first run was a 3:40. What was your first run?
Oh God, it was like 6 minutes.
It's a little long, right? That first run.
Yeah, it was definitely long. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know how
because then her
much long-
second run was a 3:19.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, if you think about it, like where the starting gate was, and then where the in gate was, it's there was a good 200 meters at least there.
Right. I actually found it quite easy to remember my counting this time. When you go out, you'd pass it right away. So that
Mhm.
was one, and then
Yep.
you pass it one more time, and then you go in on the third. I was actually able to remember this time.
Yeah, it was that was Toronto was the same way for me. It was exactly in on the third time. I like these in on the third time. It works all right. Now we'll see how consistent they stay with it.
Well, they
Um,
fixed the board with the names and where you go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
our
the timing board
the timing board was wrong. Apparently, I wasn't even looking at
was
it.
it worked for us. It worked good for us.
Cheryl was saying it was wrong a couple times, so I didn't
Okay.
even look at the board.
No, it worked for us. It just when I was paying attention to it, it seemed to be right for us, so that was good.
So you want to talk about the men's race?
Sure. Yeah.
We kind of talked about Dylan a little bit, but what else do you want to say about the men's race?
Well, I mean, it was another race. So, I mean, if we're talking about things that surprised me, well, number one, Dylan did not surprise me. Winning, yes, I had JK for the win. And you would probably know better than me because I filled out the competition. I had Dylan on the podium. I don't remember if I had him second or third.
I can tell you right now if you give me a moment.
Okay. So
only 2 people picked him to win.
I did not pick him to win. I got lots of faith in Dylan, but I did admit that I had picked JK to win. So the way JK performed did surprise me a little. He came back, and I guess it just wasn't his day. So that was a little bit of a surprise. Dylan being up there, though, like I said, was not a surprise. Hunter performed pretty much as I thought he would. He put in a great race.
I had him second. He finished second.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I don't know if I had him second or third. So
it's fine. Dave Claxton, hang on. Did you put your email address in here?
Yes, I did.
Edit, find Claxton.
Yes.
Uh-oh, I can't find you.
All right, try the email. Try it. ugly.dave.
Ugly. Hang on. Edit. Oh, here we go. We'll go this way. Sorry. If you can do the ugly thing. I mean, you can do the ugly Dave. Okay, you want to know who you picked?
Yeah.
Lauren, Joanna, Kate.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put Vivian twice. So congratulations.
Well, that didn't work out for me anyway. By the way, Viv, good effort.
You could have changed that.
Yeah.
James, Hunter, Dylan, Rich, Tim.
There you go.
That might have been my exact pick.
Maybe.
I went with, hang on, let's see what I went with. I went Joanna. I went Lauren, Joanna, Vivian, Lucy, Lauren. So I got Lauren, Joanna, Lucy dead on.
There you go.
And then I had JK, Hunter. I had Dylan third, Paleo fourth, and Rich fifth. So I only had 2 of those correctly, right? Or no, 1. I only had 1 guy. I had Hunter, and that's it. And then Dylan third place, but he finished better.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I'm going to give a quick shout out. Number 1 overall, Harry Palmer. I'm going to send you. I'm going to do a post about this later. I'm going to send you some free
Stuff.
some caffeine gummies. Harry Palmer, congratulations. Jack D Fitness came in second.
Did he?
Yeah. So congratulations, Jack D Fitness.
And he was out there racing, wasn't he?
He was out there racing. Oh, Emmy Bovalacqua picked herself 5th, by the way. How funny is that?
It's the classic Amy.
Right?
Yeah.
So congratulations. And then third place was who is this? Sorry. Right 559 OCR. Who is that? Let's look that person up. I know, I'm gonna look them up. That is nope, that's not her. That's a him. He's way down.
Yeah,
Right,
I don't usually do well on these prediction deals, especially when I don't fill it out correctly.
Yeah, good job. Congratulations. John Willie Wright, congratulations. You did a HYROX team relay this weekend. You don't get.
I think I know him. I think he's. Yeah, I think I know him.
Okay, he raced with a bunch of people I don't know, but congratulations.
There we
But
go.
yes, I'm gonna mail some delicious Energy Labs. I'm sorry, my brain is not working. What are they called?
Gummies.
No, but the name of my sponsor.
No idea. That's your sponsor. That's your for them.
I'm so stupid. What is wrong with me? Oh, I shouldn't say I'm so stupid. Speed Labs. Sorry. Speed Labs.
There you
Or
go.
speedlabs.energy. You will get some free. I need your address. I'll message you. I need you won. Congratulations.
But yeah, other than that, the men's race was really good.
Oh yeah, we were talking about the men's race.
Men's race. Really good, really great. Like you say, Rich didn't maybe have the day we had hoped he would, but still raced well. Bo Wills.
Yeah, I don't know him at all. I've never interviewed him. I asked him to come on the show. He'd already left that day, but I didn't even know he was there until the wall ball. So it's like, oh,
yep.
His wall balls beat James Sprague.
Yeah, his wall balls were faster than James Sprague's.
Good job, Bo.
So yeah, again, but a great performance for guy and making the worlds. It is really open up. And I thought at the beginning of the year when they were like, okay, by the time it gets to the LCQ, it'll be almost easy money for some of these Elite 15 to get there. And I don't think so.
Well,
I was wrong.
But listen, if you go to Glasgow, right, and you finish, you could finish way down if it's a lot of the same guys that go.
If it's a lot of the same guys that go.
Dylan's not going, he said. And I don't know who else is not going, but
you still have some really good guys who have not qualified yet.
Who's not qualified yet? Let's look.
Michael Sandbach, pretty good.
Right?
Yeah. Who else on that list? Like you even so many guys on that race. I'm trying to think of Sadiq. Sadiq's not qualified yet. He's very good. Like there's a lot of good guys that are not qualified yet.
So for the men, you got Ronco, JK, Dylan, Tim, Hunter, Graham, Bo, Pelayo. So
you still got
seven spots left.
Rich Ryan's not qualified. 7 spots left? That doesn't make sense.
For the Elite 15?
Does it? 7 spots? I guess. Well, but there's 2 races left to qualify, right?
Well, there's one where it'll be the three positions and then an LCQ.
I thought the LCQ had 3 as well.
Well, it depends. Listen, Alex, JK, Dylan, Tim, Hunter, Graham, Bo, Pelayo. That's 8. So the next race, you'll get 3 more. 9, 10, 11. That'll leave 4 spaces. So the LCQ will have 4 spots?
That seems weird to me because if there's 4 majors and 1 LCQ, that's 3 spots per.
Maybe they'll pull somebody out of open.
Right, but remember, it only goes down to 5th. So if you finish...
No, not anymore. Not anymore. Goes down to the next 3.
So... Yeah, so wait. Yeah, if there's 4 times 4 is 16. Or 4 times 3 is 12.
Yeah.
And then 3 spots at the LCQ, right?
So there should be 3 at the next major in Glasgow and 3 at the LCQ.
All right. Well,
so I think somebody's missing from the list of already qualified.
They're not though.
Got to be.
Let's go through the majors. Okay.
Oh God, I won't remember who all finished, but in the first one you had Ronco 1, right?
Missing Rylan.
Rylan Shadag.
Yeah, Rylan's not on here. Why did they take Rylan out?
They shouldn't. He's on that list. That's your missing dude.
Okay, there you go. That was easy.
Yeah.
All right. The women, Lauren, Meg, Joanna, Kate, Ida, Linda, Amy, Lauren, Lucy. So again, you could show up in Glasgow and finish. It's not going to stop at 5th?
No.
So if any of those women show up in Glasgow, you're in good shape.
Yeah.
Because even if they beat you, who cares?
Yeah, no, it's just all you need to do is be the fastest of the non-qualified people.
Right.
But there's still lots of good racers out there.
So there's no matter what, there's 3 people at the LCQ because last year it was depending on the race.
Exactly. Yes.
So, I mean, it's kind of like if you don't make it, you deserve not to make it because LCQ is like everyone that's left. And if you still can't come in the top 3, then you don't deserve it. So I think, Dave, I think the system works. Are you one that says the system doesn't work? I think that's actually really fair.
No, I think the system still needs to be better. I don't like the system at all. Not at all. Sorry, that's wrong. I don't like that the majors are only for the 15.
Right.
I like that you have to race your way from the majors to worlds. I like that. I like 3 per major in LCQ. I like that. It's
Well,
the
again,
getting into
like-
the majors I don't like.
right. Well, again, like I think it's gotten pretty good. Like you got to race twice, and now there's 90 fucking races, so you really have no reason not to get a decent two top times.
Yeah, I still don't like that. No. No, like the courses are still way too different, and even with 2 times, it's still no. I don't like it.
Shout out Mexico's Chris Scherf, old school CR guy, is now he's like the J Fit of Mexico.
Awesome.
Chris, how did you do this weekend? Let us know.
You want to hear the last thing that really pisses me off?
Is it about J Fit?
No, I like JFit. He's great.
No, but what? No, what is it?
So this is a horse that we've beaten to death.
Oh boy.
The people qualifying from Open to go to the Worlds.
Okay.
So what I see, what happened this year, and I'm looking at, I'll use as an example. I think it was men's 30 to 34.
Okay.
And I'm doing this. I'm waving the Canadian flag here, just as an example.
Okay.
Samuel Hebert and Cole Learn,
right,
came 3rd and 4th,
right,
and will not be going to Worlds for age group because 2 guys who ran slower in Open will get their quals instead.
I thought the whole point was default goes to the pros. What happened to that?
Nope. Look it up. It's got 2 for Open and 2 for Pro.
Were you there? Were you there for the awards?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. So that to me is just an absolute tragedy. Not only were they in an easier race, I should say easier race, but a race that was generally faster, but they ran slower than the guys in the Pro. And
it makes sense. Those first couple years, you want to fill a world champ. Yes, just throw whoever. Now you're selling out races.
I didn't think it made sense then. But
well, I did, because you listen, it's like you want people to come. You can't have world champion. You don't want to spend all this money and then only have half a dozen athletes. You want to have a lot of people. But now, come on, dude. Come on, same. I mean, that's bogus.
Yeah. So Samuel Hebert and Cole Learn both miss out. And it's not just them. I saw other great people. Alexander Radovich, same deal. He was 4th in his age in the Pro Wave. Raced an amazing pro race and is not going because people in Open will be going instead.
Yeah.
And now I'm exaggerating, but who's to say those people can even push a pro sled
in somewhat of a decent time?
Yes.
How many more plates is it, by the way? Is the pro? I haven't pushed a pro sled, I don't think, in a minute.
I think it's 2 more plates. It's an extra 50 kilograms, which is
100 pounds.
It's actually a little more. Yeah.
106 pounds.
I think it's 120.
Good job. Chris Scherf got a 110 pro. Nice job.
That is really good.
2nd pro doubles.
That is really fast. That's faster than Joseph Newgarden,
who I didn't even know.
No, that's right. So yeah, that one really bothered me this weekend, which it was really bothered me before.
Does it grind your gears? Does it really grind your gears?
Grinds my gears.
Gears.
I don't know. I don't do that accent. I don't do that accent. That's not in me. So
2 extra what, Brendan?
104.2. There you go.
Oh. What did I say?
You said 106, which I was off on because. Are you sure about that? Because like 100 kilos.
James English, who also beat James Sprague.
That is correct. Who also had a better faster ball time than James Sprague.
Way to go. Way to go. Yeah. Thanks for watching the show. By the way, people that came up, I'm sure many do to you as well, Dave. Come up and say, we watched the show. And I'm always like, I'm so happy because the numbers are never that massive. You know, our views aren't through the roof or anything, but clearly people are watching. So thank you.
Yeah. And like I said, I got it not just for this stuff, but for judging. People coming up and just thanking for judging and for
they want you to not be too harsh on them. Let's be honest. Come on.
Yeah. Well, I'm okay with that. I've said from the beginning, I'm open to bribes.
Okay.
Yeah. Just nobody's paying. Like,
so if I gave you like, hey, here's a not a Starbucks card, but like a free beer card, like, hey, here's $20 at your local pub, do you think you would take it easy on me or no?
Oh, sure. For $20. Yeah, of course.
I thought you were going to say no, Matt, except for you. Everybody else I would give a pass to, but not you.
No, okay, so 50 kilograms is 110 pounds.
Apparently, 220.4. So that's the
That's-
total weight.
Small keyboard there. 220.4. Is that the kilogram? No, because
He said he says he has a small penis. I mean keyboard. So his fingers were.
All right. So yeah. But yeah, I pushed the Pro Sled, and that's fine. By the way, I could have got in on the Pro Wave, and I was offered a spot, and I highly considered it. But after the relay, I went, I have not trained for 2 of these in a row, and my hamstrings are going to lock up on those lunges like nobody's business, and I'm going to fall over and cry. So I did not do the extra Pro Wave.
Speaking of which, I will give another shout out to doubles for those who have not done doubles yet. Such a good time. Yeah. Just in that moment when you think your legs are going to lock up, you stand up and go, here you go, take this bag for a minute, and you let your muscles recover. Yeah. I did 500 meters in the row and actually sat down, which is my favorite thing to do during a race. And that was perfect. I got up afterwards. See, Dave, what happens when you're reading comments? You're not listening to me. I'm right here, Dave. Stop looking.
Yeah, the comments are more entertaining.
Stop looking at that girl's boobs. Look at me. I'm right here. My eyes are right here.
Right.
So yeah, I sat down, caught my breath. It was perfect. And then I had extra bounce in my step going the rest of the way. So the comment you're reading was James asking about Elite 15. Yes, he's said that every race should be open.
I believe that the majors should be open to anybody who wants to be in them. And then yes, the first wave, you can have the first 15 or 30 people on your time list and put them in that wave for the stream or whatever the case may be. I don't think you need the grid for the majors. I think it can be just as entertaining without it. And I think if you wanted to cap it, you could put something on there like any man who has done a sub or has averaged over 2 races, a sub 65 and a women sub 70 or something along that lines. You could cap it that way.
Well, you just said about the grid, you're talking about how great the live stream is. Why do you think that is? Because they've maximized it for money. Like they pay enough to make it look good, but they clearly do that in a way so that it's cheaper and better.
Do you think that the wall balls didn't look good? Or not the wall balls, the farmer's carry didn't look good on the live stream?
No, but you would need more cameras for every extra zone, or it's just more cable, or clearly they do that for a reason.
I understand that, but I think that it's not necessary. And I think it would be more important to have a better qualification system than it would be to have that one little bit better. Yeah, I think it would be money well invested.
Yeah, I'm fine with the grid. I mean, I'm fine.
But like I said, that's what's holding back a better qualification system. That's the only thing holding it back. And I think that's a mistake.
I think I would bet they keep it. I think they really, I bet when they assess it all after Chicago, they're going to be like next year, same thing, top 2 times.
I know they will. And I just disagree. I just think it's wrong. It's the way I suggest.
Did you say this when you had Mintra on? You've had Mintra on.
100%. I have said this for years, like since day one.
But what did you say when Mintra said it, when you talked to her?
I've told her tons of times that I think it should be open so that they get the right people
in. What does she say? That's what I'm asking you.
They say they think they get the right people in.
Okay.
It's just a difference of opinion. So anyone outside the Elite 15 could race against the rest of the field in these major races, or no major at all. Yeah, anyone outside these. So example, if you were in the 4th wave and you outran Hunter and won the race, you win the race.
But he's asking if you still need a major, though.
Yeah, you still have to perform at the major to get to Worlds.
But to get to a major,
it's open.
But it already is open.
No, it's not.
It's your fastest 2 times to get to a major.
Yeah, but I'm saying you don't need to qualify with your fastest 2 times to race for a spot to get to Worlds. It's anybody can go from the major to the Worlds. Anybody who is in the pro wave can go.
So you're saying don't limit it to 15 athletes.
Exactly.
Okay. So have a major, but the major should be 2 waves?
As many as they want. Let it go.
So have the Friday night, and then whoever races over the weekend can still get in.
No, everybody races on the same day. None of that different day stuff. So if you want to have your pro wave on Friday, then have the pros go on Friday.
Right, but you were saying that's why you would need to get ready to the grid, so we're all doing the same race on the same day.
Exactly. Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty darn good. And again, if the question we always ask is, did we crown a champion? Did we get the right person? Then it's like, yeah. Did we get the top 5? Yeah. I think all those are going to be true.
Did we get the right 15 though?
Again, I don't know.
Exactly. So I'll agree with you.
I
You
think
probably got the right.
I
top
think
3.
last year maybe we didn't. I think this year we did.
Exactly. You don't even. Well, we won't know till we get to Worlds,
Right.
So for example, somebody like if the major had been Toronto, right, and they had their 15 set up or whatever, Marcus Wallace winning from the 4th wave wouldn't have had a chance. So his
Right.
thing wouldn't have mattered.
Right.
That's where I'm saying that's the thing what I say stops and prevents from ever happening.
Yeah, I think again, like thinking about all the things they do, and they deck out the Elite 15 and give them all that stuff and treat them really special. Then what are you gonna do? Not give the 17th guy a cool shirt and a kit?
Sure, no problem.
But I'm just saying
But
that's the
your
whole...
time. Your time earns you the TV time. Great, you put up times and you're in the elite, you're in what they call the Elite 15. You're in the TV time, but that doesn't mean you should be excluded if you're faster than those people from getting to Worlds.
Oh, see, that's like the bowling model.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you know how they do? That's how they do professional bowling.
No, I don't know how they do professional bowling.
So they bowl. Everyone bowls like Thursday, Friday,
Mhm.
and if you make it to the TV time on the weekend, then you make it to the TV time.
Great. Perfect. Yeah.
James is super chatty today. Welcome to the show, James. Just
See,
super,
and he's a smart man. He agrees with me.
and he's got a nice picture of himself.
This is very proper.
Look at that. Good job, James. All right, what else do we need to cover? Did we cover everything?
That's it. That's all I wanted to complain about.
Okay.
All in all, great race, great experience. Loved being part of the Elite 15 judging crew. Was awesome.
Okay. What does the rest of your spring look like for hybrid fitness racing?
A lot of local events, a lot of DEKA judging. HYROX Toronto, they haven't put it out there, but I'm just going to assume they will.
People were saying after Vegas it's going to get announced.
Yeah.
Or no. Did they say after Vegas? Who said?
I don't know. Nobody's told me anything. I just know that it was a successful race and they go back to where they have success. So that's my understanding. I would be stunned if they did not go back in the exact same time of year and do the exact same thing.
Bethany or somebody said they should announce it on HYROX Canada Day, which is apparently a thing.
Yeah, I've heard about that. I'm a little vague on what that is, but that sounds cool. I'm down with that. HYROX Canada Day works for me.
All right. Well, my next race is Glasgow, and then my next one after that is Atlanta. But I know a lot of people are not doing Atlanta because it's a week after Miami, and Miami is one of the pro doubles qualification races. So
if you want to cherry pick a podium, Atlanta might be the spot.
Atlanta might be a good spot. I mean, it's still just as sold out as the other events, but most of the names are going to Miami.
There you go.
Because it was announced before.
One other guy I wanted to, well, there's probably tons other, but one guy I do want to throw, I mentioned Grayson Kilgore was an amazing race. He was awesome out there winning the men's pro.
Oh yeah, good job. Good job.
From a back wave, not in the first wave.
Congratulations.
So,
all right,
cool. I'm good.
All right. We'll be here next Monday. And I've got Vegas Part 2. Vegas Part 1 is already up. Even though I forgot Rich was on it. Rich is on it. So is Dylan. Part 2 with Lucy and Joanna and a bunch of other people will be up on Thursday. And listen to Dave every Thursday.
Yes.
On the OFX podcast.
Up to 7 new high. Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you. And tune in to the OFX podcast. And if you want to argue with me, I'm online to debate.